Today's video, we're going to talk about how many conversions do you really need for smart bidding on Google Ads. This is one of the most common questions I get for you guys in the comment section of these videos is, Corey, I have 10 conversions, I have 20, I have 30 conversions. Can I switch over to smart bidding at this point in time? That is maximize conversions or maximize conversion value bidding strategies with or without target CPA or target ROAS added. And so with that, I really just want to formally put this kind of question to rest, given it's very subjective as to who, you ask different people, they're going to say different things. I've managed hundreds of different accounts before. This is what I've personally seen. And it also kind of depends on your niche that you're in. Expecting to wait for 5,000 conversions in a niche where, basically almost there's no customers, you're just never going to get to the end results. Well, and naturally you don't need to have that many conversions to use smart bidding, but the volume of what you're doing and of the niche that you're in, how much customers actually exist, also kind of affects things as well. So I'm going to put in a frame of reference, basically, how things work in terms of number of conversions, in terms of the results you're getting with smart bidding, and what you can expect as you go through your journey as an advertiser for each campaign that you actually set up. Also, though, it affects, how many conversions in your account affects how many conversions a certain campaign needs in order to switch to smart bidding, which a lot of people don't recognize. What you typically see is somebody saying you need at least 30 conversions to use smart bidding, but if you've had 10,000 conversions in your account, that campaign does not even need 30 conversions to do well with smart bidding already, which is something I'm going to talk about in today's video. But more so with that, you can expect different things kind of like as you go through these different brackets of so-called conversions. Less than 10, less than 30, 30 to 100, 100 to 1,000, 1,000 plus. Different things happen with your campaign when you're using smart bidding. So I want to put all that in the frame of reference on today's video. I'm Corey Ziman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, an online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results for clients' ad campaigns. We do not charge management fees until we can raise our clients' profitability from their ads a certain minimum amount up front, or on a new campaign to get to a certain minimum level of profitability if we agree to work on an account. We are the only agency on the planet who offers any kind of guarantee tied to their services at all, which should tell you something about the quality of the information that I'm sharing on today's video. So if you stayed at the end of the video, I will have information in terms of an actual case study of how we started out here, ended up here, and how much of a difference that made in terms of profits on the ad spend that we had to spend for a particular client once we got to this end of the bracket, 1,000 plus conversions, okay? If you haven't watched any of my other videos, what I say all the time on this channel, particularly when it comes to Google Ads, but really any other ad platform that is machine learning driven, Facebook ads, Microsoft ads, Twitter ads, whatever, that is, the longer you've advertised and the more conversion data you have, and the more history you have, the more reputation you have with the platform, them knowing you're a good advertiser, better than your competition, the more you can expect out of your account. And whereas the average person wants results right away or nothing, or they just expect things to be like a switch. Oh, I turned on my ad, it should work. Oh, it does it. Oh, I'll turn it off. The longer you've advertised, the more you can expect in terms of profit. Period. End of story. To the point where every year, because you've amassed more conversion data on that account, you can expect more profit from that account, and you're really building a long-term asset. Much like if you were to put $1 million into the stock market in a market fund that just buys all the stocks, every year you would get more results because you have more in there to work for you. The conversion data works the same way. If you were to start out today getting 5 conversions a month from, say, 1,000 a month in ad spend, that same 1,000 a month in ad spend 5 years from now, instead of getting 5 conversions a month, it's going to get like 100, just from the standpoint that you've amassed so much more conversion data in that account. That's really what it is, okay? You get more impressions when you have an aged account. You pay less per click on average. You get a higher conversion rate on average because Google understands who your customers are and knows how to give them to you. Those are the main reasons why you can expect more conversions with the smart bidding that you have in your account as a whole. for the most part, if you set things up right, it's not a matter if you will be profitable, it's just how long is it going to take? And that's really what things are about. It's you got to pay to play, you got to pay to advertise, you got to pay to get data. Once you get enough data, you're profitable, and then it keeps getting more profitable. So you can take the approach of, oh, I want to invest a little bit and see it work before I invest real money, and then never get anywhere, or understand it's a process, spend to get data, and then you're going to be able to get to where you want to go, and it's just all a part of the overall process of getting results on Google Ads. So with that said, we will typically start out with manual bidding every single time at our firm because we know it works the best. Because it's very good at getting the ads ramped up. We'll start out with the recommended bid to get to the first page for all our keywords. If that does not get us impressions, we'll double the cost per click across all the keywords. If we're talking about search ads, if we're talking about display ads, the same kind of thing technically applies. If we still don't get any impressions, we'll double all the bids again. And we'll keep doubling it and sometimes to insane levels just to jolt the system to finally show our ads. The more competitive a market it is, the harder it's going to be to get your ads shown. And the more you're going to have to do that. Once you start getting shown, you can back off the cost per click. But really, it's about once you get just 10 or so conversions, you right away switch over to smart bidding, and the smart bidding is going to go to town making your ads more profitable using the data it already has. Okay? So that's typically what we're going to do. Now, when you switch to smart bidding, you're going to expect different levels of results at different stages based upon how much actual conversion data you've built up in your account. If you, by the way, have a question about your market, since things do vary, what I'm about to say will change a little bit market to market. Tell me what you're doing in the comment section. I get back to every single person that leaves me a question or comment in the comment section, typically within 24 hours time. But with that said, when you start out and you have less than 10 conversions in your account, this will actually be okay if you have other campaigns with at least 10 plus conversions in them already cumulatively and they're similarly themed, such as if you are a HVAC company, you do AC repair, heater repair, you've got all your campaigns targeting those things. And you're like crazy like me and you have different campaigns for each city. Well, you don't need 50 conversions in every campaign do well with smart bidding because all the keywords are the same or similarly themed. So the data that we get from one campaign will technically, Google will use it to power another campaign. It does that to a large degree. But if you're selling couches here and then, picnic tables here, each campaign is going to need a certain minimum amount of conversion data to do well because there's nothing it can take here to apply it to here in terms of the learning. If you have other campaigns that are doing the same thing, basically going after the same type of customers, and when I say same type of customers, if you sell picnic tables, one's brown, one's blue, you can expect the conversion data you got from one campaign to power the new campaign you have basically right away to where once you get 1 or 2 conversions on that new campaign, you can already use smart bidding. If not, you want to at least wait till you have 10 plus conversions most of the time to switch on smart bidding. Once you get to 10 to 30 conversions, it's good to switch single campaigns over to smart bidding at that point in time. If you have other campaigns that already have conversions and they're similarly themed, I'm going to switch to smart bidding after 1 to 2 conversions. If I don't have any other campaigns I've been running that are like the campaign in question that I started up, I'm going to wait till in other words, 10 to 30 conversions before I switch on smart bidding. Okay, so in other words, as a side, just before I go on, you don't need much conversions in your campaign to benefit more so with smart bidding, get more sales, more profit sooner than manual bidding. After like 20 conversions, even 10 to 20 conversions, you're already going to do better with smart bidding than you are with manual bidding already because smart bidding is so advanced now, the system's so good at finding customers, that's just how it is. Don't wait around forever to use smart bidding, in other words, okay? Most people want to use manual bidding if they are clinging on to it. It's because they don't like Google charging them more per click. The cost per click is irrelevant because with smart bidding, weed out the people who don't buy or turn into leads. You get actually people that you want. And of course they charge you a little bit more for those people because they're more likely to convert, so they're worth more. And that's what you want them to do. So instead of just clinging on to clicks that are not cheap, aren't worth anything to you, get past that. That's not how things work anymore. Figure out what your cost per lead or ROI needs to be, or ROAS needs to be. Set your campaigns up to get that and forget about cost per click, what you're paying ultimately. Not to say that you shouldn't try to do a good job to pay as little cost per click as you can through having the better ads with the better click-through rates and the better conversion rates from the landing pages that you have. But at the end of the day, smart bidding, what they're charging you per click with smart bidding really is irrelevant. It's just going to aggravate you. Them charging you a lot one day and then a little another day. It's really irrelevant. It's all you got to know is you're going to make more profit from the smart bidding than you are with manual bidding because of the machine learning capabilities that the campaign has, sub-segmenting the traffic down to micro levels. That is, doing stuff such as them understanding that if a person has 50,000 in income or more and they're male and they're 65 plus and they visited this website before they made the search for this keyword, they're 99% likely to turn into a customer. Therefore, you should get your ad to show up for that person every single time, regardless if you have to pay 3 times as much per click to outbid everybody else for that individual that searched for that keyword that you're bidding on, plus has these other individual traits. They optimize on a user level, even though you're targeting on a keyword level, if that makes sense, with the smart bidding and the machine learning systems they have. Anyway, with that said, moving forward here, now once you get to 30 to 100 conversions, okay, with your smart bidding, this is where your cost per acquisition really starts coming down. Before that, you can't expect a really good cost per conversion already. Unless you're in a market with high demand and very low competition, then you could expect a good cost per conversion that's conducive to getting you a profit from your ads after 10 conversions or less even. In a competitive market, competitive being you normally see 4 ads at the top of Google, if we're talking about search ads, it's going to take you to 30 to 100 conversions before the smart bidding can get enough data to really work on getting your cost per acquisition down where you want it. And, if you don't know anything about smart bidding, you shouldn't set your cost per acquisition to the exact amount that you want right away. You set it 15% lower than what it is getting already, and then once it gets it, you lower it by another 15 and another 15 until you eventually get it to where you want it to be. It will not do a very good job at getting you to the next 15% lower until it's gotten at least 30 to 100 conversions in a competitive market most of the time, if that makes sense. Once you get to 100 to 1,000 conversions on a particular campaign, you can usually expect to get a decent cost per acquisition by this stage, okay? If you're looking for a profitable cost per lead that's profitable to your business or a certain ROI that's profitable to your business, usually once you've gotten past 100 conversions, you'll be able to get it. You've worked that cost per conversion down and you're at your target. It might be 100, but it also might be 900. Depending on how competitive your site is at converting customers into clicks into customers and your pricing and how they are situated in your market, it'll dictate whether it's going to be 900 or 100, basically. That's the main determiner there. A lot of you guys, I deal with clients all the time, and they really like to just really turn the screws to me and say, hey, I want to get more sales. And they just want me to tweak the traffic on their campaigns to get more sales and only rely on that. At some point, you're not going to make the traffic more refined. And it's certainly going to get harder to make the traffic more refined as you go. That's just one little piece of the overall system of what you can tweak to make ads work for yourself. It's easier to make a landing page or a website convert better than it is to make the traffic source better after you get past the first 100 or so conversions on a campaign. Just to let you know, you need to work on price testing. You need to work on the copywriting on that page you're taking them to, the layout of the page you're taking them to, the content itself. Are you doing videos that demonstrate the product or service well? Talk about, other famous people that have reviewed your product or service. And if you don't have that, you damn well get it because it's going to help increase your conversion rate. It's easier to do that stuff than it is to make the traffic source better and more refined after the first 100 conversions or so on a campaign. Take it from me. And the reward is once you become efficient enough, you can actually scale that campaign a hell of a lot more than if you just dug your heels into the ground and said, the traffic needs to be better and optimized and more optimized and more optimized. And that's the only way that I'm going to make more money is I optimize the traffic. Because honestly, the traffic being optimized, yes, it's very, very important. But in the grand scheme of things, 30% of the whole formula of how much money you're going to make in a market running ads for your business, 70% of it is going to be through how good are you at converting traffic into sales on your website, / if you're in a market with repeat business, how good you are at retaining customers. For sure, how good you are at taking websites and making what traffic convert. And because that's the thing most people don't know how to do. It takes an artist to know how to take a website and make it convert at a high level. You can go to all the website design companies in the world that you want, but if they don't know jack shit about conversion psychology and conversion rate optimization, they ain't gonna make you a website that converts visitors into cash. It can look nice, but That isn't what gets high conversion rates. Somebody who really knows how to design well, make trustworthy looking design, and knows these things, they're charging an arm and a leg. And what people do is they hear the price. If they are actually getting in front of that person, they hear the price, they're like, I ain't paying that. Who do you think you are trying to charge as much as what I make in my business? And then they hire somebody who doesn't know anything about marketing and consumer psychology, and they don't get a good conversion rate. Then they go to the traffic guy and they say, make the traffic more refined. And they can't do it because your website, I see this all the time. Your goal is to make the traffic refined enough to where you're making money, then take whatever profit you have and make that website as good as you can, baby, because it's only gonna make what you're doing on the ad side open up once it's really, really good and better than your competition's at, being simple, not confusing, trustworthy, that kind of thing. Which, by the way, if you want to, most agencies you hire that help you run your ads, they don't do the landing page. Well, that, like I just told you, that's 70% of the equation. You can have the best ad campaign in the world, landing page, it ain't gonna work. It just ain't. If you want to know somebody that knows both sides, which you technically got to know both, because if you just know how to make a landing page but you don't understand how to send the right traffic there, you're still not going to make money. You got to do both. This is what we do for clients at our firm and why we can guarantee results for our clients, because we're looking at both pieces of the puzzle. If you want to know how to get the results, you've got something that we know we can do well with. We'll work with you and guarantee your results and tell you up front what you can expect from your campaign in terms of an increase in profitability. You just got to reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. I'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you on that topic. If you like managing your own campaigns, you should also reach out anyway, because we have ad templates that we're selling here. No other agency sells ad templates, but if we've worked in a niche market like your end, we can literally sell you the winning ads, landing pages, campaign templates, all of it that work for your market already. We worked in over 100 niche markets, so the chances are quite high we've already gotten you all the results you're looking for. You copy paste all that into your own ad account and you're going to get the same results that we had to spend years to figure out how to get, and millions of dollars of ad spend and everything else to find how to get to those results, and you're going to get them for a small one-time fee. We've got people using these templates to start other businesses where they wanted to diversify their income, whether they wanted to subcontract out work for services or sell a product that they can easily get from China. We've got close to 10 people that bought a template from us just to do other businesses like that. It's a great turnkey business idea, if you will, because the main part that's the hardest thing to do for most of the stuff is make the ads work. The sooner you realize the hardest part is actually selling and figuring out how to run ads successfully for your business, the quicker you're going to get to millions, because it truly is the hardest thing unless you got a game-changing technology. And then damn well, that product sells itself already. Okay, fine. But if what you do isn't that special, it's the marketing above all else that's the most important thing. And the easiest way to get where things make sense is to start with a template that already sells that product in a different geographic area, different country, whatever. You can sell it in your country or a different country and have a business because the ads work. Anyway, if you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at guaranteeppc.com. Getting back to the topic at hand here, if once you bridge the gap and you've actually made it to where you've got to 1,000 conversions already on a particular campaign, this is where your 1,000% ROAS or return on investment actually exists, typically most of the time. People want 1,000% ROAS to exist here when they're new into business and they're green and they're naive and everything. They read online, what's a good ROI to expect from my e-commerce campaign? And then they see, 1,000%. And then they go and they spend 20 minutes setting up their campaign as if nobody thought about that before. That worked job at McDonald's who has, an ugly girlfriend and hates their life and drives a piece of shit car, never thought about making an ad campaign in 20 minutes, selling a product everybody else sells, and then we're just going to be able to do that instead of working at their you can get 1,000% ROI, but it's not going to be until you get 1,000 conversions and you've already spent $30, $40, $50, $100,000 in ad spend already to get it. Now it works. That's your barrier to entry in your market to get to where you can make a really good ROI. With that said, assumes you had a firm foundation, your ad wasn't getting worse click-through rates than your competition, ideally in the top 20%, because that's typically what it takes to make money now with Google ads, as well as conversion rates in the top 20% compared to your competition also running ads next to you. And you're doing profit level tracking. That is, when you make a sale, you plug the sales data into your account. And that means all your sales, not just the ones that go through your cart, but the ones that go through your car and buy offline that you plug into the ad account through offline conversion tracking. Or if you're generating leads, when a sale occurs, you plug in the sales data into your account. Or if you can't do that very effectively, you at least score the leads and then use the lead scoring that you give each lead for Google to steer your ads with. If you got all that done, at 1,000+ conversions, you basically can automatically expect you can have your 1,000% ROAS there. Now, you'll typically do better if you just accept like a 600% ROAS, and so you could scale more. You'll make more overall profit that way. But if you want 1,000% ROAS and you're willing to accept whatever volume you can get at that level, you'll get it. With that said, like I mentioned at the very start of this video, it's not a matter of if you will make money with your ads. Can you set up the funnel to be at least as good as the top 20% of people in your space? Can you set up the tracking? And then can you wait for the conversion data to build up? Because once you got the conversion data, you'll get the results because the system only has to look at everything it's doing, find the percent of 10% of what you did that worked, and just focus on that. It's actually really simple when you think about it. But people don't want it to be like that. They just want their ads to work right away. And like I said, if it worked like that, there'd be guys at McDonald's buying a course to learn how to sell a t-shirt with an ad campaign and get rich instantly, and nobody would work jobs. And, that's not how it is. That might have been how it was in 2005 if you got into it then. It's not the way that it is today. Everybody knows what Google Ads is. What makes the difference between you and somebody else getting those customers profitably from Google Ads is the person who's going to be smarter and work harder to do it. Period. End of story. It's not like nobody else hasn't heard of Google Ads. Think. I don't know why people don't think about this. If every single person in your entire niche market has heard of Google Ads, why ain't they all running it already if it was going to take 20 minutes and $500 to get going? Really, truly, think about this. There has to be a barrier to entry to everything that's valuable in life, or it wouldn't be valuable. You are going to absolutely win every time if you're just not lazy and arrogant like them and realize it's going to take time to get it to work. You're going to have to build up conversion data, and you more importantly have to set up the right funnel to beat your competition from the start so that when you amass the conversion data, it actually pays off because you've actually got some sales at the end of the day from it. And Google also, is going to prefer to keep you around and not send you the junk traffic, which they like to do, by the way. They literally, when they don't care if you stay or go because you don't have ads that are very good, landing pages are very good, they send the person that's least likely to convert to you. You may say, well, I'm targeting the right keywords. Bullshit. Doesn't matter. They're going to take the portion of the keyword traffic that you have, subsegment, take the person they know the least statistically likely to convert, send it to you because they don't give a if you stay or go. Whereas if you do things better than your competition, they want to roll out the red carpet for you, charge you less money for higher quality clicks that they know is most likely to convert because they don't want you to go anywhere. It really is like a good star employee that you can't fire versus somebody who is really just a complete moron that you want to kind of like just go away. It's really what the system is set up and designed to actually do, which I love it because once you actually understand this and you're willing to outwork the competition, you win every time. It's really, you want it to be hard. If it actually starts working, do you want any retailer that shows up with $500 to take it away from you? No. Or worry about every retailer that shows up with $500 to take away your revenue stream and your company that you've built up to millions? No, you don't. So why do you want it to be so easy for you stepping in? It's not like one of those things you get in and you just pull up the ladder and nobody else can do it. It's either hard to get in and competitors are going to be hard to take it away from you, or it's not. You have to be pragmatic about understanding the value and how things work. How it works in business is how it works in the advertising world. At least when you're talking about advertising sources of traffic that everybody knows exist already. It's no secret anymore. Google Ads works. That customers exist on Google, and if you find a hidden traffic source nobody knows about, it can be easy. It's only because nobody knows it's there, and Google Ads, everybody knows it. So you're either going to do enough and do more, do something that other people that are advertising now aren't willing to do, or you're not getting no customers at a profitable cost or rate, and that's the end of it. And all the details about setting it up the right way, if you're willing to put the work in, is all on this channel. I give you everything for free. There's no reason why you can't get these results for yourself. And you may say, well, if it's all there, why aren't my competitors already using it? And the reality is they're lazy. People are lazy. If you're just not lazy in business, you can make millions of dollars because the consumer wants what they want and they want to buy easily and they want to make a decision easily. You just have to make it easy for them to buy, easier to buy from you than them, and you will make millions of dollars. I explain how to do that on this channel in detail if you truly are serious about making millions of dollars. You can't spend 20 minutes setting up your campaigns and be done. You got to spend 200 hours setting up your campaigns at the beginning before you run a single ad in a moderately competitive market. And because you weren't lazy, you get all the money, at least after you've mastered enough conversion data like I talked about here. So get those results. You subscribe to this channel, you study it. It's all here. So if you haven't subscribed already, you should. Also have a blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog with even more information, specific steps to get guaranteed results for your campaigns that we're actually using for our campaigns, for our clients' campaigns today. If you like the video content, you're going to like the blog as well, but you'll just know that all the other information you basically find online about how to make money with ads, like I'm telling you about, is all given to you by people who don't really run any ads. And therefore, it's useless. I'm the only one that I know that spends 40 hours a week doing ad strategy that has a YouTube channel that tells you how to run ads that, like what we're finding at our firm, actually works. I don't know of another single person who does this. If you do know, I want to know so I can watch their content too. For that matter, you can't just listen to the other guy. It makes it sound simple because he's just telling you what you want to hear. If you're serious about making money, it's going to take some work. For that matter, at the very least, you should be paying attention to the information on this channel first if you're actually serious about making money. With that said, going into the case study here. Okay, so just so that you know, I already touched on this, but the amount of money you make here is absolutely nothing compared to what the money you're going to make here. And the only way you're going to get the money here is if you go through the process that I just described, setting things up the right way to have a better click-through rate and a better conversion rate, mastering the conversion data, then the money rains from the sky. We had a client who sold paint, residential paint, okay? We got to where we started here, okay? The amount of ROI that we got for this particular company, given that they only needed a 4-to-1 ROI to be profitable, that's the bare minimum. Obviously, the client wanted to have 8-to-1, as does everybody. But he was smart enough to realize that we can scale much quicker at a 5 to 6 ROI than at an 8. We were able to get the 4-to-1 ROI after the first basically 6 months of running the campaigns already. So with the campaigns, then in terms of the number of conversions we were able to get them per month here was literally less than 10% of the conversions we were able to get here on the, because we ran more than one campaign, less than 10% of the conversions we were able to get here at that 5 to 6 to 1 ROI that we were expecting to scale the campaigns with and on. You can actually use this to get to an ultra high ROI like 1,000%, like I was talking to you about before, or you can use it to scale more than what you would otherwise. But no doubt, when you start with 25 conversions on a campaign, you certainly can expect, if you're getting 5 conversions a month now, it'll be at least 50 a month once you get here, once you're at 1,000 plus conversions in that particular campaign. Why? Because Google understands exactly where your customers are, who buys your exact flavor of product or service, and then as a result of that, stop having your ad show up for anybody who doesn't like the flavor anymore. There's a certain profile of customer that buys from you that doesn't buy from your competitors. You can't expect Google to know what it is until you've told them who it buys. It helps, first of all, to give them your customer list so they can actually use it for their machine learning. But even if you don't have that, you can use the conversion tracking to give them that data. But even if you do give them the customer list, they're still going to have to learn, specifically on the people who type in the keywords that you're targeting or, on the websites that you're targeting with display ads, who it is that specifically is going to click through this ad and buy. And that through process of elimination, they're going to figure it out. But you've got to give them some time to figure it out and be diligent about making sure your tracking's working and you're patient. Because 25 conversions to where you're at 1,000, you should be making 20 times as much money. Or your ROI should be way better, like 3 times better than what it was at 25 conversions at 1,000. That's what we had with the paint store. And it was like clockwork. Launch a campaign targeting a few keywords. It would, really bust open when we get to 1,000 conversions overall. It's profitable at around 25 conversions already. And then what you should be doing, like we did with the paint store, is when you get a campaign profitable, you parlay 10-20% of what you're making profit-wise into a new campaign and then getting that going. And then when that's profitable, you spend another 20% of your profit to get the next one going. And then over the next 7 to 10 years, you've now taken a campaign that was originally the first year only making 200,000 makes 5 million at the same ROI than you started, which is what we had with this particular paint store. The average person though, they don't want to wait 7 to 10 years to make $1 million a year in profit. They want it to happen right now. And if it were that easy, everybody would do it. Your competitors would have already been doing it. They would just crank their ads up a little bit more. The value is understanding what part of the market actually buys, and then you make the money. Not before, or not nearly as much as you will once you've actually advertised for a while. So with that said, I'll wrap it up with that. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said conversion value was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.